Alrighty, guys, welcome to the Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Mikey.
And I'm Andrea.
Excellent. Let's get into it this week. We are going to cover our takes on Raw this past week and SmackDown. To open up Raw this week, we opened up with a 10-bell salute for Bruno Sammartino, who had passed last week. So I thought they did a good job there. They showed us a little video package of Bruno Sammartino and everything there. So I thought that was a good video package.
Yeah, I think so too, honey.
Yeah.
It was emotional.
Yeah. Good. Let's see here. And then after that, we opened up with a segment between Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, did his talking. Seemed like this one went on again to me for a long time, and then finally Roman Reigns comes out and responds and doesn't really have that much to say. He just kind of quickly gets in there, says that he's gonna win even if he gets sent back in pieces. No matter what, he's coming back with the title. And Paul Heyman did his whole thing again, talking about how he's not making a prediction. He's telling everybody a spoiler that Brock Lesnar is still going to be champion. So, I don't know. What did you think of this segment?
I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it too much.
Yeah, I said, I think the writers for WWE or whatever happened, there's so many rumors.
I feel like I've seen it so many times already.
Right, whatever happened at WrestleMania, there's so many rumors about what happened, whether it was written that way, they changed it last minute, or they changed it during the match. Vince McMahon got on the whatever thing, intercom thing with the ref in his ear to tell the ref tell them to change it right now because the bands were booing so crazy. No matter what happened, I feel like WWE got it wrong. They should have people, even if people didn't said that they didn't want it. I think people were ready just for this storyline to be over and for Roman Reigns to win the championship, so we could move on from this storyline. So that's kind of how I felt about this. I was like, okay, yes, I wish they would have just got this over with at WrestleMania, because we're still hearing the same thing. Like you said, we've seen this so many times now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, and then I've made a little note here because this is something that you mentioned during this, and I mentioned it on my little Raw rundown, and I heard the guys over on Wrestle Talk talk about it this week as well. But you noticed those fans that were in the front row, cheering for him. They're like, Roman, Roman, Roman.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kind of seemed like, I don't know if those were real fans or if maybe they were real fans, or and the WWE picked them out hey, you guys are all Roman fans, right? We'll put you all up front if you cheer for Roman when he comes out for his segment. Or they could have been WWE employees who were planted in the front for the segment, because otherwise, how in the world they were all up front cheering Roman, and right when they started cheering Roman, Roman, they had a camera right there ready to cut to these fans that were cheering for Roman. It seems a little bit suspicious that it was that convenient for them.
It was suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt it wasn't it wasn't natural.
Yeah, it didn't feel natural. Okay, next up after this, we get a match between Bobby Roode and Elias. Elias, we didn't even get a performance from him this week. He was in the ring and they announced, ladies and gentlemen, Elias, and then his music, the lights go down and everything, but then all of it, Bobby Roode comes out right away before he even gets a chance to do his normal what does WWE stand for, and sing his song about how crappy the town is and everything. So I was kind of disappointed about that we didn't get to see that usual performance, because he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
More Bobby Roode, I guess.
Yeah. So And then in this match to start out, there was a lot of chops. Like this match looked like it was a painful match to be in to me because, like, you know, like the chops, you know, the one where they slap him on the chest,
Yeah.
and it stops. Like they did that a lot in this match, and that's not something you can
Were
really
they?
fake. Yeah, like you really have to slap somebody in the chest to do that, and even if it's not a punch, it's still a slap. It stings.
It's like, hey, let's hurt each other.
Yeah,
Let's
so
just actually hurt each other.
yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be in that match at all because, like, I'm sure, like, you could see, like, both of the guys' chests were, like, super red at the end of the match.
But do you know what I've noticed this week? Is just I've seen a lot more bruises on the wrestlers, like just popping up. I don't know if you normally hide them with makeup, but I've seen a lot more bruises than I normally would.
Yeah. Could be that, yeah, they've been having some tough matches lately. I think maybe just trying to get over with the fans even more to make it look more real.
Maybe.
You know, that time of year, it was the
Probably.
WrestleMania time, and then the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania are always a big deal, and then we just had the shake-up, so everybody's probably, you know... And this is like a time where you get a lot of new call-ups brought up, and then you might see some people get cut, so everybody's probably like trying extra hard to make themselves look extra good so that, you know, that they have a place. Or, you know, this is also the time of year where, you know, they start new storylines, so everybody's trying to prove like, hey, look how good a work I can do in the ring. So if you give me a good storyline, like you can write me a good story and you can get good matches like this out of me, sort of thing. But I mean, who knows? I mean, that's just one reason. Maybe that's why you would see more bumps being taken like that and more bruises and everything. Yeah. But in the match here, Elias ended up getting the win. I was kind of surprised about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Elias got the win.
Yeah, me too, because I'm a big fan of Elias. I just thought Bobby Roode would be, like, the way they've been booking him lately, I thought Bobby Roode would be, you know, he's kind of been the baby face. So I thought maybe he would get the win here. But he didn't. And like I said, you know, maybe this will be a fresh start for him, because now he's from SmackDown, he's moved over to Raw. And when he was in NXT, he was a heel. So maybe this whole, you know, deal with him and Elias, or, you know, I don't know what could happen, but maybe him, if he starts going on a losing streak, Bobby Roode that is, maybe he will like turn heel and like make it that, you know, get more interested in his character again.
Maybe, yeah.
Let's see here. The next little segment we got here was a little funny one with Matt Hardy, where he said he talked to an oracle, and the oracle told him that he was gonna win they were gonna win the Raw tag team titles at the Greatest Royal Rumble, or whatever he was calling it. You know, whatever funny ways he has of calling things. You know, instead of calling the Greatest Royal Rumble, he's like the best, greatest Rumble of the Royals, or whatever he was calling it. Yeah. I'm liking the whole thing that they got going with that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Next up after this, we did get a match between the Ascension and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I like the little when let's see here. Matt Hardy threw one of the guys from the Ascension into the ropes, and then Matt Hardy like lays down on the ground, and then the guy from the Ascension does the cartwheel over him. And then
that's right.
Matt Hardy was like clapping and telling everybody wonderful to do wonderful. And I thought that was pretty good. It was pretty good to me, comical. And then like later on Twitter, he was like tweeting about like, oh, did you see the cart of wheels? It was wonderful. So I'm just liking the whole character. I mean, because he's doing it. He keeps the character up on Twitter. I've heard him on interviews and like podcasts and stuff. And like he'll keep the character up for his interviews and podcasts, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like a few weeks ago, he was on the podcast with Edge and Christian, and he would kind of like go back and forth. Like most of the time, he would be in character, but then when they were talking about something like from the past, like he would kind of like go out of character, just be like, oh yeah, like I remember doing that match with you guys, and it really was like that was one of the best matches I ever had. But then he'd go back into like being in character, and even one point during the interview, he's like, oh yeah, I keep He said he had some in character reason for saying why, like he was going back and forth, like, oh, I keep getting my spirit keeps getting sucked back and forth or whatever, something funny.
Yeah.
So it was good. But what did you think about this match overall?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the spots. I feel like, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are like
They're getting better.
yeah, each
Yeah.
week they've gotten a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Like putting their moves together and looking good as an actual tag team.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, yeah, they're definitely looking a lot better, and just them together, it's pretty silly
Mm-hmm.
what they do, but as it goes on, I hope it gets even more,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, well, I guess more, their chemistry is better, so it's like, and I think, like, with their, like, end song where they're trying to, like, cut in and out of, like, Bray Wyatt's and Matt Hardy's theme song, I think, like, whoever does that needs to do a better job because it just feels, like, very floppy. It's not very smooth,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I feel like they should just stick with one or the other, and I would stick with Matt Hardy's music for their gimmick, because the back and forth thing, I didn't really like I didn't like it for the music either.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Okay.
But
yeah.
But that was that. So let's move on to next up we got the first ever Sammy and Kevin show. They're replacing Miz TV on Raw since Miz has gone over to SmackDown now, and they come out and say, yeah, they got their Sammy and Kevin show now. They're gonna do it whenever they feel like it, maybe every week.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I think they should.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this segment. It was funny. They talk about how they're gonna win the Greatest Royal Rumble. They brought Kurt Angle out, and like everything they did with Kurt Angle, I thought was pretty good and pretty funny. What about you?
Yeah, I did too. I can't name exactly what one thing happened, but
Like, I think probably the funniest part of the segment to me was when Sammy was like, they were talking about how Kurt Angle needs this job. They're like, we know you need this job because you got 5 kids, and
right.
Kevin's like, oh, you mean 6, and Sammy's like, no, I just 5, right? That's what I have in my notes, 5. He's got 5 kids, right? And Kevin's like, no, check your notes again. He's got 6 kids, and then Sammy goes through and he's looking at his notes, and then Kevin's like, oh, you see what you did? You forgot Jason Jordan. And Sammy's like, oh yeah, just like Kurt did for years. So, like, we know that Jason Jordan's not really Kurt Angle's son in real life, but for the storyline, like, it's funny.
Yeah.
That they do that. Like, it's, a very funny storyline.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. Gosh. What did we get out of that?
What did we get out of that?
Oh, out of that, yeah. So then Kurt Angle, that's when he makes his comeback is, okay, yeah, well, whatever, guys, like, I've made a match for you, and then he tells them that they're gonna have a match again in a tag team match versus Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. Yeah. And obviously they're not happy about that. They're kind of scared because Braun Strowman's a big, huge guy. Bobby Lashley's a big, huge, muscular guy. So, of course, if I were them, I would be nervous too, because, even if I was like friends with those guys, like, I'd be nervous to like approach them if even if I had like if I wasn't happy about something, I would probably just let it go, be like, oh man, whatever they did there, I'm not happy with them, but I'm not gonna say anything because they're so huge. Right. After this we got a little segment. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are talking backstage, and like the camera would be like, it's just me and you, and then like off to the side they're talking to somebody off to the side, and we don't know who it is, but they're like talking to this person like, oh yeah, you know what, like, we're not with a Miz anymore, and we could really use a new leader, like, would you want to like be the head of our team? And then the camera pans out, and then Seth Rollins is there, and Seth Rollins is like, no thanks, guys, and so he denies him.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I don't know. That was cute.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought too. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was funny for these two to, maybe that's going to be their little gimmick now, like trying to find somebody to be their leader now.
Right.
Like, oh man, like we had a guy that we followed around for so long. Now we don't have him anymore, so we want to find somebody, but nobody wants us to be.
Like what's his face said, oh, they look like two little lost puppies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Next up, we had Titus Worldwide versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. For me, I thought this match was really good, especially for Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Like, Dolph Ziggler hasn't had a great storyline for the longest time, but with him and Drew McIntyre together, like, it was really good. They worked really good as a tag team to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their finisher, like, where Dolph Ziggler does his Claymore at the same time that Drew McIntyre does his Claymore. So the zigzag and Claymore together at the same time, like it looks like a really cool move put together like that.
Yeah.
And then I like the segment that they had after the match, after they won the match, they're talking about like, oh, like Drew McIntyre's like, oh, there's a bunch of lazy guys in the back. They're sitting back there like happy to take the checks, but they're not working hard like me, because obviously like he's a really, not only is he really tall and big, but he's like muscular too. Mm-hmm. Like he's not like just a big guy to be big. Like he's a muscular guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so that's what he talks about. And then he's like, the whole everybody in the back better be scared because I'm dangerous and whatnot. And Dolph Ziggler's like, oh, we're not here to steal the show because we are the show and whatnot. So, like, I thought it was, like, a good promo, good in-ring action. Like, I'm a fan of, like, them being together. I can't wait to see what else they do together.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm excited to see more of him.
Yeah, he made his name in NXT. I think maybe he got called up for a little while, but got hurt, like, pretty quick after being called up to the main roster, and he's been gone for a long time, and so now he's back. But I think looks good to me.
Yeah. Cool.
After this, we got Chad Gable talking to Kurt Angle in the back, and Kurt's like, oh, I didn't bring you here to come back with Jason Jordan, although Jason Jordan, he gave us a little update saying like, oh, he should be back in like 2 months or something. But he tells her to get Chad that like, oh,
yeah,
I didn't bring you here to be his tag team partner again. I want you to, I want to give you a chance as a single wrestler guy. So we get that Jinder Mahal comes up and interrupts and is complaining about still not getting treated the way he wants to be treated. And then so Kurt gets tired of it and makes a match between Chad Gable and Jinder Mahal. And so that's what we get after the commercial break. Jinder Mahal and Chad Gable had a match here. Chad Gable actually got, the crowd at this event, everybody seemed like they were into the show. Like they were cheering the people that they were supposed to cheer and booing the people that they were supposed to boo. And like Chad Gable got the win here, and it seemed like right after he got the win, like fans kind of like they popped pretty good. They cheered for him pretty good after Chad Gable win, which surprised me because I'm not too interested in his character.
No, I mean they don't do much with his character, I don't think. But I thought this was a pretty good performance between him and Jinder.
Yeah, decent performance in the ring to me as well.
It's Jinder, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my favorite Jinder Mahal match, and not my favorite Chad Gable match. Like to me, it was just a decent match and whatnot. So I don't know what it means for either of these two guys. It was just kind of a throwaway match to me.
Yeah. Well, I thought like when Jinder Mahal kicked him in the face, it just busted his lip. So I thought that was like, and you could hear it too. So that was pretty.
Yeah.
Just the thought of that. Anything done to the face makes me uncomfortable.
Next up after that, we had Riot Squad give a little promo saying how they're, on Raw now or whatever, and they're going to take over. Again, I still don't really care about the Riot Squad, especially Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Like, I like Ruby Riott. Like, she's good, but Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan are just not doing it for me. Like, I think, they all said something here. I don't even remember what Liv Morgan said. Wait, because, like, they kind of gave the mic to each three of them. But I remember Sarah Logan. I don't even remember what Sarah Logan said, but whatever she said, she was saying it, like, in that accent that she was doing, and she was talking about being a trapper, and so she knows that they know how to set traps because her uncle brought her out in the woods and setting traps or whatever. And I was just like, what is this character? Like, this is so dumb. I mean, WWE has some like real corny characters sometimes. Like, I mean, the whole Woken Hardy thing is, it's corny, but I mean, at least it's entertaining. Like, I don't know what this Sarah Logan character is like.
I don't know much. Yeah.
I mean, who cares if you can set traps? Like, if you're from the woods and you can set traps and whatnot.
Like Katniss.
Who cares? Doesn't do. I mean, it's not. It's not good to me.
No.
Well, I mean, what do you think about the Riot Squad overall? Like,
I think they're doing. I don't know. They don't really pop out. I don't think.
Yeah.
They're still not doing much with them. I think last season, is the season go over every year? Or is it every after wrestling?
Yeah, the show is every week. There's no real seasons. Like... Technically, some people, you could say like, oh, we just finished WrestleMania, so I guess you could say like this is the new season. This is the new year of. It's kind of like the new year of wrestling for WWE because they just had their big main event and now everything is kind of starting again. So
okay. Well, anyways, now that it's kind of starting again, I feel like they're not doing too much with the Riot Squad, at least with their stories.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, they were part of the shakeup too. They just came over to Raw, so they'll probably try to figure out whatever it is that they're going to do with them.
Oh, that's right.
After this, we had. Let's see here. Samoa Joe did a little promo here saying that he's going to beat Roman at Backlash after Brock Lesnar beats him at the Royal Rumble. But if somehow Brock Lesnar loses to Roman Reigns, then he's going to take the Universal title too, because Samoa Joe's in a Intercontinental title match for the Greatest Royal Rumble. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to win that. And then if somehow Roman Reigns is able to win against Brock Lesnar, then I'm going to win the Universal title too when I face Roman Reigns at Backlash. So anytime I see Samoa Joe on camera cutting a promo, I think it's good. I like Samoa Joe's promos.
Yeah, I think he's good too.
Next up, we had the same thing again with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. This time they're going to Finn Balor, trying to see if Finn Balor will join the team, and Finn Balor denies him too. They even try to like do the too sweet with Finn Balor, and it's kind of like, no thanks, guys, again. So those poor guys get denied again. Still no leader.
Yeah. What a shame.
Yeah, and then next up is the match that we got with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. You go first. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a good match.
Yes, yes. Tell me more.
I thought it was... Because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are very good performers, and same with Braun Strowman. And I just was introduced to the other guy.
Yeah.
So I think that overall it was a pretty good match. It was all pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
When Kevin Owens got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn got, what was it, pinned?
Yeah, like when Braun Strowman ran over Kevin Owens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good too myself. Like, because the beginning of the match, Bobby Lashley's doing like most of the work the entire match, and then he keeps trying to get over to tag Braun Strowman in, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn keep stopping him, and then finally he's able to get that hot tag into Braun Strowman, and instead of Braun Strowman actually going in the ring first, because Kevin Owens is like standing on the outside, that's like he runs around the side of the ring and runs over and bulldozes Kevin Owens, and then he comes over and bulldozes him again, and then he like does the drop kick on him on the outside. Anytime Braun Strowman does that drop kick, I always am amazed by that, because like that guy is so big. For a big guy like that to be doing that drop kick, like jumping up in the air and doing the drop kick like that is pretty crazy to see to me.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
And this was another one, like, to me, and I mentioned this in the rundown, like, to me, this match just showed that obviously Braun Strowman is the future of WWE. He's the biggest thing in the company right now. Because, like when he got tagged in, like, the fans were going crazy. Like, they were, like, cheering so crazy when he got tagged in. And then each time that he, like, ran over Kevin Owens, like, the fans were still, like, going crazy. Like, they were like on fire, like cheering for Braun Strowman, like as soon, like the entire time that he was involved in the match. Once he got tagged in.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they cannot get the title belt on Braun Strowman fast enough to me. Like, at some point this year, like, Braun Strowman has to win the Universal title. Like, Roman Reigns has got to beat Brock Lesnar finally so that he can win the Universal title, and then Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman need to have a match for the Universal title, and Braun Strowman's got to win that thing.
And what about Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar?
You could do that too, but I mean, we're getting Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again at Greatest Royal Rumble. I mean, we'll do this in a separate show, like right after this one. We'll do a show on our prediction for Greatest Royal Rumble. But I feel like we finally need to get over this storyline. Like, Roman Reigns better win at Greatest Royal Rumble. Like, I'm ready for this to be over and to move on to get some other stuff. Plus,
what?
Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman already had a match last year for the Universal title, and Brock Lesnar won. So they have done that one once already too.
They could do it again.
They could do it over and over like they do with Roman Reigns, I guess.
Yeah.
So next up we had No Way Jose. He comes out with his conga line. He's dancing, and then Baron Corbin comes out and he starts talking on the mic like, "Oh man, you're so embarrassing. You're not serious. Like, I can't take you seriously, so I don't even want to do this match." And then No Way Jose is like, "Oh man, just because he doesn't want to have fun, we could still have fun." So he dances his way back out, and he gets to the top of the ramp, but then he lets all the rest of the conga line go in the back, and then when he's out there dancing by himself, that's when Baron Corbin comes out and attacks him.
Because Baron Corbin's a jerk.
Yeah, because Baron Corbin's a jerk, and I still don't care because his character's so dumb. His character is so dumb. I do not get the whole Baron Corbin thing. Like you said, his pants still look dumb, his outfit still looks dumb, his hair still looks dumb.
I think we pretty much say that every time.
Because I can't get over it. I can't get over it. It's so dumb. Like, why can't they figure it out? I mean, it's not. I want to say that it's not Baron Corbin's fault, because when he has matches, he has good performances. He can perform good, but the writers, again, like, just do it to me over and over. Like, I don't think they know what they're doing with this guy. They need to rewrite his character, or, you know what, like, hire me, Vince McMahon. I'll write something better for Baron Corbin than anything that the writers there currently are doing, because, man, it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't care about this. You know, if this is setting up a feud between Baron Corbin and No Way Jose, there's nothing else going on in the WWE right now that I could care about less. I do not care about a feud between Baron Corbin and No Way Jose.
Yes. We could spend like 5 minutes on this.
Well, because I want everybody to know how much I don't care about it. Like, it's dumb. Like, they're wasting my time by wasting.
I thought it was like this whole thing though with the conga line and then Baron Corbin coming out. I was like, well, what's happening? Like, he said, I just don't know what's happening with this conga line dude either.
Right, yeah, that's why I don't care.
It's like, what was this piece? Just a little extra airtime build up.
Maybe, I guess. I mean, that's what it felt like to me. It was just filling time because I don't care about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about either of the characters. Don't care about a storyline between them. I hope they get that over with quick because I don't want to have to see that every week. I don't want to have to see that every couple of weeks.
Right.
I don't want to see it at all. Let's get on with it, though. So after that, we had the little public service announcement here with Alexa Bliss, and she's like warning everybody how, to not be friends with Nia because Nia is the real bully. And one time, they were leaving they were walking out of some market store, and Alexa saw some homeless lady, and she felt so bad for her, so she gave her burrito bowl. But Nia Jax just snatched it out of the homeless lady's hands and scarfed it down in front of her. And then when Alexa was like, and I still remember the sounds of her scarfing it down in front of that homeless lady, and I did nothing. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too. Yeah. Alexa, she does a good job.
Yeah. I thought it was good, and I liked that whole thing. I thought that was really well done, and Alexa performed it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was that. And then after that, we got a match between Finn Balor teaming up with Seth Rollins. Finn Balor teaming up with Seth Rollins.
Yes, sir.
Versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins got the win here. Not a lot about this match I was too excited about for me here.
I wasn't invested in this match, to be honest.
I'd like to see what happens with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They're both good wrestlers, so I'd like them to get a storyline. And if they keep doing this thing every week where they try to find a leader, I think it will be comical and entertaining. I'm just not like Finn Balor and Seth Rollins teaming up together. Not too interested. We just saw that leading up a lot, like up to WrestleMania. Like they teamed up a lot, and then they would fight against each other sometimes, and sometimes they'd be on a team again. And we'd already finished their match at WrestleMania, so this is another one that just kind of shows to me, okay, like the writers at WWE still don't know what they're doing because they're still doing stuff that they've been doing for the last couple months. They haven't figured out how to move on yet because they haven't. They're just
they just hired new people.
They haven't. I told you they haven't already. It's easy to find out. Okay. They didn't hire new people. All right, they just don't know what they're doing. They're retreading the same things over and over. I don't know. Maybe Vince McMahon thinks he's hired new people when he really hasn't, but that's not the case. The case is they're just redoing things that don't make sense to keep doing because they just finished these storylines. So why go back to the middle of a storyline that it's basically what they've done is they've gone back.
They're getting lazy.
I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Let's see here. And then in the back we get Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They're all backstage talking to each other that they're ready for their match tonight. And then they all walk out to the ring like they're going to get ready for the match. And then we just see a little stare down between Sasha and Bayley. So I guess they're still friends or frenemies, I guess. They still haven't done a full-blown... See, and that's another thing that they should have done at Royal Rumble. Like, Sasha should have went full-blown heel by now, and, like, there should be a full-blown battle going on between Sasha and Bayley. They shouldn't still be frenemies. Like, that was the whole storyline leading up to WrestleMania. Then one of them is supposed to turn full on heel, and then you get a good match. Like, but they're still kind of going back and forth. Like, oh, we're friends, but we're enemies. But we're friends, right? But we're enemies. Mm-hmm. Okay, like let's get on to one of you guys being enemies or whatever. Like, but so then we got the main event of Raw, which was Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, and Riot Squad. Versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, Nia, Natalya, and Ember Moon.
What?
I thought this was a good match overall.
I enjoyed it. I always like seeing the girls or the women's team. Women's wrestlers wrestle against each other because they actually are more, for me, they're more entertaining just because they actually, like, not only are they, like, I guess more athletic, more agile, like, they do all these fun moves. They're also, like, vocal. They're very vocal, too.
Yeah, that's true. Women are a lot more vocal, like selling the vocals of like whether like they're hitting somebody really hard or if they're getting really hard. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
Like.
Or, like just getting all like catty with each other.
Right, yeah, like yelling stuff at each other during the match.
Yeah,
that's true. They do that a lot more. Makes you kind of feel the emotion of the match. But yeah, during this match, I thought when Ember Moon got tagged in, like she came out on fire. Like Ember Moon continues to like do good performances in the ring to me. I thought Natalya performed really well in this match as well. I liked when Nia got in there, and I don't remember who she lifted over her head. Maybe it was Ruby Riott, but she was like gorilla pressing somebody over her head, and like while she was doing it, like she winked at Alexa.
Oh yeah.
And then then when Nia, like, all the women are grouped together on the outside, and then like Nia like jumped off the apron to the outside on top of everybody, that was pretty good.
To break up the fight.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And then like Natalia's at some point acting like she hurt her knee or something, and then Mickie James starts attacking her, and then that's when Ronda Rousey comes out to protect her, and then Mickie James takes a cheap shot, like drop kick on Ronda, and it didn't really faze Ronda too much. It just made her mad, so she got in the ring real quick and put the arm bar on Mickie James, and Mickie James, tapped out and, gave up pretty quick.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ronda Rousey's like, anytime she's in the ring, it's just like a big attraction, like, she's another one, like, if Braun Strowman's the future of the men's division, like, Ronda's already, like, she's only had one match so far, but she performed really well in it. Last week when she took down Sonya Deville, she looked really good doing that. Even though it was only a really short thing, like, she looked really good doing it. And this week, it's only a really short thing. She just did a hip toss on Mickie James and then got her in the armbar, but she looked really good and dangerous doing it. Like, it looks legit. Like, she looks like just like she did in UFC. She has a total different look from any other woman wrestler right now. So it's like, okay, yeah, like, she is really dangerous.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't watch UFC, so...
I know you don't watch UFC, but I mean, you can tell that she has a different style from the other women wrestlers. Some
danger coming from her.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good Raw show overall.
Me too.
Yeah. So let's head over to SmackDown. On SmackDown this week, we opened up with The Miz. I like this as well.
Me too.
I liked how, he comes out, it's Miz TV, he doesn't have the Miztourage with him anymore, so he's just got his chair set up and a chair for his guest. It's supposed to be Daniel Bryan, and so he's, like, calling out Daniel Bryan and saying how, like, you know what, like, Monroe was just born, and when she was born, I knew I had to become a better man. And Daniel Bryan's, like right after it got announced that I'm coming to SmackDown, he's putting out tweets saying how he's like hashtag gonna punch me in the face, and I just feel like I'm a better man now because of Monroe. And maybe Daniel Bryan doesn't have a close connection with his daughter Birdie like I have with Monroe, because he obviously hasn't gotten over this. So I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Calling out. Like, oh, I must be a better dad than Daniel Bryan. I must be closer to my daughter than Daniel Bryan because, because I'm over that. So I thought that was good.
That was good. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. But alas, we do not get Daniel Bryan come out here. Instead, Big Cass comes out. I don't know what he was doing here. He comes out, his music hits, and he's like, I don't know why he's still getting dressed. But, like, did you pay attention, like, when his music hits and he starts coming out to the ring, he doesn't have his jacket on yet, or, like, his watch, like, he's, like, putting on the jacket, and then he's, like, putting on the watch. I was like, okay, like, why is he doing that?
If you notice what happened later, maybe that has to do with it. It's supposed to be, like, a last-minute thing, so him trying to get dressed last minute while he's out there might, add on to that feel, like, oh, he's coming on last minute.
Yeah, I guess.
Wink, wink.
I guess
I'm
it's
not going
true.
to actually try to wink.
I guess it's true, but it didn't really... Well, because you don't know that Daniel Bryan's hurt in the back yet at this point. So...
No, you don't, but that's...
Right, so they want me to think back like, oh yeah, now I know why he looked so dumb when he was coming out to the ring trying to get dressed before.
Exactly.
Like, dumb again. Writers mess that up too. Oh, you know what? We'll have him go out there, halfway dressed, and then we'll explain it, in the show later on. Maybe then they'll remember to connect the fact that the reason why he was getting dressed was because he just got done beating up Daniel Bryan backstage. Dumb, writers. That's dumb. Quit being so dumb. That's dumb. And then, so anyways, he comes out there, and actually, like, looking back on it again, like, I feel like Big Cass actually, when he got in the ring and started talking to the mic with The Miz, he actually cut a good promo here, and, he made some more corny points again, but I thought he did a good job. He actually delivered his lines well, and, like, made it entertaining, because he was like, oh yeah, I hate Daniel Bryan because he, I despise him because he reminds me of what I used to be. He's small, and because he's talking about when he was young, he was small, and then he was like, but then I grew. Like, it was something he could help or something. Like, he just decided to grow to be 7 foot tall one day or something. So, but I don't know.
It was silly.
Yeah, it was kind of silly, but he hates Daniel Bryan because of it, and Daniel Bryan also got cleared to come back the same day. Big Cass got cleared to come back. So Big Cass is like, yeah, but nobody was talking about me coming back. They've just been talking about Daniel Bryan, so it makes me mad because people should have been making a big deal about me coming back too.
Yeah.
So, this, the way he did his performance here actually made me, like, last week, when he came back last week, I didn't care at all, but now this week, his, like, return and him actually getting on the mic, I go, oh, okay, like, I could see what they're doing here, like, maybe he can cut a promo and perform in the ring. We'll have to wait and see more about his performance in the ring, but maybe he can, like, be an entertaining character now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes it takes guys a while just to find something that fits, something that they can do, so maybe he can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then, after this, then we do go back. Becky Lynch and Asuka, another thing that we'll get to later that the writers are still messing up. But, they're walking, Becky Lynch and Asuka are walking together backstage, and they come across Daniel Bryan. He's all beat up because I guess he just got beat up by Big Cass because he was supposed to come to the ring, but Big Cass beat him up before he went out there. But yeah,
so badly hurt too.
Yeah, real badly hurt.
He was like, what, in the fetal position?
Yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah. Then after the commercial break, we come back. We get a match between the Iconics and Becky Lynch and Asuka. Again, I feel like the Iconics, when they come out to the ring, they're cutting perfect heel promos because Peyton Royce is they both have crazy Australian accents, but when they come out to the ring, they're making fun of Becky Lynch's Irish accent, and then Peyton Royce tells Billie Kay okay, close your eyes, I'm gonna do it, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I thought she was really here, and then they're telling bad jokes that they're laughing at themselves, that's what perfect heels do in wrestling, they tell bad jokes that nobody else is supposed to find funny, but they laugh at their own jokes because that's something that somebody you don't like would do. Tell bad jokes and laugh at their own jokes when they're obviously not funny. So they're doing that really well. And then they talk about how Charlotte beat Asuka, and it's the reason why Charlotte lost the title last week was because we beat her up, so therefore we must be better than Asuka. Yeah, so I like that heel aspect that they were doing there. So the Iconics actually got the win here as well. They I think Peyton Royce rolled up Becky Lynch, and she put her feet up on the ropes for leverage to have more strength to hold down Becky Lynch, and the ref didn't see, so they got the win there. What do you think about the match itself?
I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, the match itself was okay, but again, the writers are getting Asuka wrong still. Look, she loses at WrestleMania. What do they do for the Raw and SmackDown afterwards? She's not on the show.
Right.
Then they do the shakeup and they bring Asuka over to SmackDown. They just announce that she's coming over to SmackDown. She doesn't do anything on the show.
Right.
And now they bring her back with no storyline in a random tag team match that has no storyline going for it, nothing else going on. Shouldn't she have some sort of storyline? She had, a streak going for almost 3 years undefeated. And this is the best they could come up with her for? This is the best you could come up with for a storyline for her? It's stupid.
Yeah, I feel bad for Asuka.
Yeah, I feel bad for Asuka too, because I got some really dumb writers over at WWE that don't know how to write anything. I feel bad for a lot of the performers in WWE right now because they obviously don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the best performers, women performers to me right now in WWE are Asuka, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey, just because she's such a big attraction. So you need to have, a big storyline going for Asuka. You shouldn't, that's just something to me that seems like they obviously had no plan or any kind of clue what they were going to do after WrestleMania, where they were going to go with any of the storylines. Because everything I'm watching now, it's okay. So you don't have a storyline? Because you didn't have a plan for what you have, for your finish after that? You just decided, okay, we're going to do this, but we're not going to come up with an idea of what we're going to do because of that. It's an ongoing story, so you can't just come up with the one thing and then say, okay, well, we came up with that. I guess we'll get up to the rest of the story at some other point. You got to write the whole storyline out.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan.
Yeah, that's true. You do. But, what can we do? We're only the audience.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, next up we get AJ Styles. He's coming out of Shane McMahon's office. He's saying he's happy because he gets to team up with some old friends, and it's going to be too sweet. So obviously he's going to join up with Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows later on, and he's going to face against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev Day. Next up, we got a little promo with Naomi and the Usos. Naomi was telling Jimmy,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, like, I have a bad feeling about tonight. I know you're supposed to fight Rowan, but, like, the Bludgeon Brothers, I looked into their eyes, and those guys, like, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. And, Jimmy's, like,
There's
trying to,
nothing
yeah,
there.
Jimmy's, like, telling her, like, okay, I know you're scared, but whatever you do, don't come out there tonight.
Yeah.
Don't want you getting involved.
Oh, yeah. I was telling her how cute she looks. That she's getting all worried. And
Yeah. Then so after this, we got the commercial break. And then when we come back, we do get Rowan versus Jimmy Uso. Jimmy actually got the win here because they're having a decent match, and just when it looks like the Bludgeon Brothers are about to crush them, Naomi's, like, the lights go down, and then Naomi's music hits, and then she comes out dancing, and the Bludgeon Brothers are so mesmerized by her dancing, and she was putting down some crazy moves, like she was putting it all out there to make sure that they were really distracted.
Uh-huh.
It got
some booty shaking.
Yeah, it got Rowan distracted enough, and Luke, it got them both distracted enough that Jimmy Uso was able to get in there and end up taking the win.
Uh-huh.
It was the first time.
Yeah.
It was the first time that either the Bludgeon, ever since they have come back as the Bludgeon Brothers, it's the first time that either one of them have lost, because they've done tag teams. They've won all their tag team matches. Luke Harper, he had his single match last week, and he won. And now that Rowan lost, it was the first time that either of them have lost since they have become the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Naomi and her neon colors. She's quite mesmerizing.
Yeah, I thought so.
I know, but I thought it was really dumb.
Yeah. I thought so too. But
I like cheesy, but this is so dumb.
Yeah. Next up we had it was supposed to be the contract signing for the match, for the rematch with Charlotte and Carmella. Carmella comes out first, and then she takes the mic from Renee Young, and she's, like, really mad, like, in what world do you introduce the champion first? You're always supposed to introduce the champion last, because that's the most respectful way to do it, like, the champion gets, best for last kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, I showed a highlight video last week for everybody of my rise to becoming champion, but nobody stood up and cheered after it was done, so I'm going to show it again this week to you guys. And when it's done, everybody stand up and cheer. And then so she shows it,
I can't believe they showed that again.
Yeah, they showed the whole video again.
The whole thing.
And then, but I guess that's what they really got to do for her heel character. She really wanted to show the whole thing.
It does make you want.
Yeah, and then when she doesn't get the response she wants, she's like, okay, no, you know what? I'm gonna show it again until you guys get it right. And it starts to play, and it plays maybe not even quite halfway, but it plays quite a bit again. And then Charlotte comes out and interrupts and annoys Carmella, and I like this here. Like, Charlotte came out, like, looking, like she was just, like, super serious and mad, and she didn't even say anything when she got to the ring. She just, like, sat down, signed the contract, and did a woo in Carmella's face, and then slammed Carmella's face in the table, and, like, she looked super aggressive too, because then she took that table and, like, flipped it over on top of she flipped it on top of on top of Carmella there. I thought it looked all really good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I believed it.
Yeah.
I felt the anger.
Yeah, you could feel, like, the fact that Charlotte was really mad that Carmella did that to her.
Yeah.
And cheated her out of when she was at a weak point when she'd just been attacked by two other women.
Yep.
So I think they'll put on a good match when they have their match. Let's see. So up after this, we get Shelton Benjamin versus Randy Orton. Shelton Benjamin comes out first, and then Jeff Hardy starts to come out, and just like Jeff Hardy did to Randy Orton last week, Randy Orton interrupts Jeff Hardy before he gets into the ring, and then so Randy Orton comes in and has a match with Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Hardy just sat on ringside, and then at this point we had Sunil Singh, because Jeff Hardy has to face Jinder Mahal at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Sunil Singh came in and attacked Jeff Hardy, and then he ran in the ring, and then Randy Orton attacked Sunil Singh, and then Shelton Benjamin was able to take advantage of the fact that Randy Orton was distracted, and Shelton Benjamin got the win here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, same here. Just okay. Not a lot that super interested me in that there. Let's see here. So on the rest of SmackDown, we ended up, we had the New Day, a little segment here. They're selling their Book of Booty. The Bar come back.
Is that a real thing? The Book of Booty?
I think so.
Okay.
They've had other things that are New Day themed that they've actually sold before. I think you can actually get some bootios, and you can get a pancake cookbook thing or something.
Okay.
But but then the Bar come back and interrupt them, and they talk, they take the stack of the pancakes, and they're they say that they're going to win at the Greatest Royal Rumble. They're going to win the Raw Tag Team titles back. And, they won't be on SmackDown long, because once they win the Raw Tag Team titles, they're going back to Raw. And they're because on SmackDown, nobody stacks up to us. And they take, the stack of the pancakes,
right.
Nobody stacks up to the Bar.
Right.
But that was I think that's the only thing that the writers maybe and I think they only did this because they realized oh, we messed up, because the Bar are set to have a match at the Greatest Royal Rumble for the Raw Tag Team titles. That was announced the week before the shakeup, but then at the shakeup, the Bar got sent over to SmackDown. So now this week, the writers have to be oh yeah, we sent them to SmackDown, huh? I guess we better explain why they're going to have a match for the Raw Tag Team titles then, huh? We better have them say that if they win the Raw Tag Team titles, then they get to go back to Raw. There's never really been a case in the past where somebody got sent in a shakeup somewhere, and then it was oh, okay, but you're involved in a tag team title match, or you're involved in any sort of title match. So if you win that title match, then you get to go back to the other show. That's never happened before. They're doing it here because the writers messed up. They're
Right.
oh, they lost, so let's send them to SmackDown. Oh, but wait, we already set them up for a match for the tag team titles. We better somehow explain why this is happening, because everybody already knows now that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are going to win because they sent them over to SmackDown. It would make no sense for the Bar to win.
Right. That definitely sounds lazy, and probably some miscommunication.
Yeah, I think so.
Do the writer? It makes me wonder what's going on back there and what they're doing.
It makes me wonder too.
It's
Next up, we had Daniel Bryan say that Cass attacked him from behind, but he's going to be okay. He'll still get to wrestle at the Greatest Royal Rumble and be in that match, and then he's going to get revenge on Big Cass at Backlash. And he did, because why in the world would anybody that big need to attack somebody smaller than him from behind, kind of deal. This kind of segment to me was okay, yeah, okay. I'll be interested in seeing Daniel Bryan perform. I'm just interested in seeing him perform, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I want to see him.
I think they're still trying to play on fans' emotions of oh, he's been injured for so long, and guys, if guys attack him and hurt him, there's always the danger of maybe he won't get to come back if he gets attacked like that. I don't want them playing with my emotions like that.
Oh, no.
Because Daniel Bryan really could get hurt one day and have to retire again, so
Yeah.
I don't want to waste a lot of storyline with them playing around oh, is he really gonna get hurt? It could be something that could actually happen, and he might actually in real life have to retire again. So I don't want to keep having little segments of him being oh, yep, the bad guy attacked him and hurt him, and he had to retire before, so that could be a danger.
Yeah.
That's not something I want to get played around with.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the part actually where we had Samoa Joe again saying that he was going to win the Intercontinental title and the Universal title if Roman has it. And then we got our main match of the night, which was AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, and Aiden English. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev and Aiden English ended up getting the win here. What was most notable for me was after the match, AJ Styles attacked Shinsuke Nakamura, but AJ Styles is able to dodge a couple of punches from AJ, and then he gets him with another low blow again.
Yeah.
And then, I noticed that the fans still popped when Shinsuke Nakamura got the pin too, because I think fans are still they're still fans of Nakamura.
Yeah.
So even when he got the pin, even though he's playing the heel, fans still cheered him. It wasn't until he did another low blow again that they booed. And then Nakamura is about to do a Kinshasa to AJ Styles, but who ran in the way? Carl Anderson ran in the way, and then he took a Kinshasa and got knocked out. And then AJ Styles is still on the ground, holding his jewels, and because he's in such pain, so he can't help his friend. And then Carl Anderson gets set up again, and then this time Shinsuke Nakamura does a Kinshasa to the back of Carl Anderson's head, while AJ Styles is still in such pain from getting low blow that he can't help his friend. And the way Nakamura the look on his face, when he was saw oh yeah, AJ, you're not gonna be able to help your friend. I'm gonna do this right in front of you. I am in the whole heel.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking the whole heel turn for Nakamura. He's playing the character really well.
I know, but would he ever be able to come back from that?
Yeah, you can come back from that.
That's evil.
Yeah, it's evil, but you can always come back from that, and he doesn't necessarily have to. His character is just doing well, and fans. People are a big fan of him anyways.
Yeah.
And I think this makes the storyline more interesting. It makes it a lot more interesting, than oh, here's two great wrestlers. So, for the longest time, these two guys were seen as, in their, in their prime, they were seen as the best wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of great mutual respect for each other. It's nice to have two baby faces and they have respect for each other, but you can't go on with that forever. But if you have one guy who's an actual heel and then they feud, it makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it does. Those low blows, though, I think they need to stop.
Why?
No, I feel bad for AJ.
Well, I'm sure they practice it a lot and performing so that they don't, because...
No.
If he was going to do a real low blow, he'd full on, get him a fist right in there. But he's doing he's getting the arm in there
right. Yeah, that's
true. This. So you're, it's probably not. I'm sure maybe it still doesn't feel good, but they are doing it so you don't get a full on impact.
Okay.
I bet he by the time where he's hitting him, he's probably hitting his bicep on. Mostly in his buttocks area, and then raising the rest of his arm up like this, so it looks see, I got him right in the jewels.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's funny, but it's just I feel bad.
Yeah. Oh, and then what did you think about Shinsuke Nakamura's new music too? The song is still the same, but he's got the rapper now.
Right. I didn't really like it.
Oh, really? I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then, because before, too, all the fans would, sing along to the oh part.
Oh,
but now he's got the rapper rapping over that part where that used to be, so the fans can't really, sing along to that. So I think that's another perfect thing that he's doing with the heel character. And the WWE, this is the one thing since WrestleMania that WWE writers have been getting right is Shinsuke Nakamura's character. That seems to be like the only thing they've been getting right since
Maybe
WrestleMania.
they're just focusing too much on Shinsuke right now.
Maybe that's the problem, but it is at least the one thing that they're getting right, and they're getting it so right that you know, like I am loving this at least, because like the whole fact that fans used to sing along with this song, but now in America where most people are watching wrestling, and most of the fans like aren't speaking Japanese, like, and that the Japanese rappers like rapping over the part where the fans used to sing along with, like when you're a heel, you don't want like fans singing along to your song and stuff because like you don't want the fans to like have that close of a connection to you. So now that they have the rapper rapping over the part, I feel like that does make him like feel a little bit less connected. Like, okay, yeah, he really is a heel. He doesn't even want you to sing along with the song. He's so heel.
Yeah.
That's how mean of a guy he's become. He doesn't want you to sing along to his song.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a rapper rap over the part where you used to sing along to it.
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's so mean.
Well, yeah.
I can't sing along anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Because it distracted me.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so overall, I mean, at least that's the one good thing that they got going storyline right now in WWE. But that was the end of SmackDown, so that's the end of our show here. We'll be back in just a moment to do our prediction for the Greatest Royal Rumble. Real quick, do you have anything this week that you would recommend for our watchers out there and listeners?
I guess check out some Matt Hardy interviews. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, the Matt Hardy interviews are good.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would say definitely go check out. I haven't got to check it out yet myself, but go check out the Bruno Sammartino documentary that WWE just put out this week. I've heard it's really good. And I think it's only like 45 minutes or something, so it's like a short documentary that you can see about Bruno Sammartino. So just continue to check out more Bruno Sammartino stuff so that you can, because he is like one of the biggest legends of wrestling, and a lot of people, especially people our age, didn't get to see him wrestle, so you should go back and check out all that footage and interviews and stuff you could see of him.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Alrighty, thank you guys. Let's get into our Greatest Royal Rumble.
Been sitting here for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, let's stretch out. Let's get ready. Oh, long show. Oh, now
Too long for me.
now we're at the end. And the long stretch, just like we're going to be in for a long show at Greatest Royal Rumble tomorrow morning.
Oh, boy.
I think they said, like, I don't know if the show will actually go for 5 hours, but they have a 5-hour slot, to run. There's 10 matches. So,
okay.
And the Greatest Royal Rumble is going to be a 50-man tag. I think they said they're going to have the same exact rules for the normal Royal Rumble, where they're going to come in every 90 seconds. So that match itself is going to take, at least an hour and a half probably, because, just the amount of time to get everybody into the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's do our Greatest Royal Rumble match predictions now. So let's go down the line. First up, let's do a prediction. So first up, we're going to have Cedric Alexander. And actually, I don't know what's going to be first up. We're just going to go in order of, like, a random order here.
Okay.
First up is going to be Cedric Alexander versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight title. Who do you think is going to win here? I know you don't watch 205 Live, so you're just going to have to make a guess.
I'm going to go with Cedric Alexander.
Okay. That's who I'm also going to go with, is Cedric Alexander. Next up, I wrote down is our Intercontinental title match. It's a ladder match. So in a ladder match, you have a title hanging up in the middle of the ring, like hanging down from the from the rafters, and it's hanging in the middle of the ring. And then you have ladders, so the winner has to. The way you're going to win this match is you grab a ladder and you set it up, and then you climb the ladder, and then you have to grab the belt off of the hook.
Okay.
And in this match, it's going to be Miz, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe.
Oh my gosh. I want Finn Balor.
You want Balor to win?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I want to say that The Miz is going to win back his Intercontinental title. He'll make his reign and get it so that he has been the longest reigning Intercontinental title holder. And then he has a title to hold on to for when him and Daniel Bryan do finally resume their feud. And then Daniel Bryan can take that from him later on at some point this year. Next up, we have Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos and for the SmackDown tag titles. Who do you think is going to win here?
Well, with the way it's looking so far, I'm gonna say it's going to be Usos.
You say Usos. I want to say that the Bludgeon Brothers are still going to win here. They're going to keep their titles. Let's get to... Next is the Raw Tag Team titles, The Bar versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Jeff Hardy? Matt Hardy, sorry.
Okay. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. That's what I will say as well. Again, this is just another example to me that the writers didn't have a plan for what they were going to do after WrestleMania. So obviously, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are going to win here because The Bar is moving over to SmackDown. Next up, we have Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the U.S. title. Who do you think wins here?
Oh. I bet Jinder Mahal's going to win.
Jinder Mahal. Okay. Let's see here. I could see Jinder Mahal winning this as well.
I like Jeff Hardy, but I bet Jinder Mahal. He's just like a big guy.
Yeah, and then I could see... Because I predicted that the Intercontinental title will go over to SmackDown, then if you bring the U.S. title, if Jinder wins the U.S. title, then the U.S. title goes back to Raw. So you would switch those two belts, and then the amount of belts for each show will still be the same. Like you won't have all the belts on one show.
Yeah.
So that's part of my prediction. Then we have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
Okay, you're saying Shinsuke. I will also say Shinsuke because he's doing so awesome with his new heel character. The only thing that upsets me about what they're doing with this character is, again, like maybe I'm glad they had a plan for after WrestleMania for them, but they didn't have a plan leading up for them. I wish he would have, like, especially seeing how well Nakamura like plays the heel.
Yeah.
I think it would have been nice if he would have done that before WrestleMania, because then we could have had a heel turn with him, and then we could have had the match that we thought we were going to get at WrestleMania. Because, like I said, I feel like at WrestleMania, like, they held back a little bit. We didn't get, like, the best stuff we could have seen from them because they knew that this heel turn was part of the match at WrestleMania. So now we can get a full-on emotional match where, like, they're going to go at each other hard.
Yeah.
But I wish we could have got that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, too bad.
Next up, we have a match, just a regular match, between John Cena and Triple H.
Triple H.
You say Triple H. I will say John Cena. Next up, we have Undertaker versus Rusev Day.
Rusev.
You'll say Rusev. Oh, I'll say Undertaker. I don't think... This is only Undertaker's second match back, so I think he's going to be winning. Then we have our Universal title match. It's going to be a steel cage match.
Roman Reigns.
And it's going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. You say Roman. I will also say Roman, and I hope this will end the storyline that we've had between them and we can finally move on. And then the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble match.
Oh, God. I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be 50 people in it. They don't even have 50 people. They haven't announced everybody that's going to be in the roster. I think they've only announced about half of them so far. So...
It's gonna be someone well known.
You think it's gonna be somebody well known?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make a guess. Any guess?
Any random person?
Yeah, who wins?
Who's part of it though?
None
of these people are part of it, right?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be. I mean, they have to have 50 people in the match. I mean, I know they've announced, like I said, they've announced about like 25 of the people who are in the match so far. And some of the guys are guys who like are not in the WWE anymore. Like they're bringing them back in just for this one match.
Well, then I'm gonna say Braun Strowman.
You say Braun Strowman? Okay. I will say in a surprise turn of events, because there's so many people that are like coming back for the one match, but we also know that Rey Mysterio has been in talks with the WWE for a while now, in talks of making like a return to WWE to wrestle with them either part-time or full-time. They're still in negotiations about that, but maybe this match he makes his actual return, gets in this Royal Rumble, and gets a win here. So I'm going to say Rey Mysterio Jr. wins this. And that's it. That's going to be our Greatest Royal Rumble predictions.
Yep.
Thank you all for tuning in to the show. It's been a lot of fun. Long show for Andrea.
For me.
But it was a lot of fun. I had fun talking about Raw and SmackDown and what could happen in the Greatest Royal Rumble. Starts early tomorrow morning. Be 9 a.m. our time. I'm going to be at work, so we're not going to get. Obviously we're not going to do it. I'm not going to do an instant take on this show like I normally would do because I'll be at work during the show. But at some point, maybe on Saturday or Sunday for sure, we'll definitely have a show up on by Sunday for sure on our review of the Greatest Royal Rumble event. So until then, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.